From Roger Moore with Love, which is a documentary which, as it turns out, plays... This is how it came up, because I said, what day is Christmas? And he said, really? And I said, yes, because that's blah, blah, blah. Anyway, directed by Jack Cocker, who I used to work with at the Culture Show. Very fine documentary. So this tells the story of Roger Moore from his early days in which he was a knitted sweater model to obviously becoming, his generation's James Bond. I should point out, Roger Moore is my generation's James Bond, because the first Bond film I ever saw was Live and Let Die. And so I think there is something about the first time you ever see Bond on screen, that is the Bond to which you're wedded. So we hear from his children, who have got this incredible archive of home movie footage, which has never been seen before. We hear about his life in Switzerland and in France, and there are interviews with Joan Collins, James Seymour, Pierce Brosnan, David Williams, Christopher Walken. Best of all, however, the documentary is narrated by Roger Moore, or rather it isn't. The narration for Roger Moore is performed by famous Roger Moore impersonator Steve Coogan, who actually does a really, really good Roger Moore. Here's a little taste of the documentary.
In my personal life, I was no saint. Professionally, on the other hand...
Mr. Moore, why do you think you were chosen to play the saint? Because Sean Connery wasn't available.
If he hadn't been so good looking, they'd have let him be a comedian.
Roger Moore, 007 for the 5th time and fit as a fiddle. How do you do it, dare I ask?
I play the fiddle.
Oh, you must be Joe. My name's Roger Moore. He just has it.
So it's in cinemas, and then you can see it on television. The thing is, as you probably saw from that trailer, it's lovely. It's really charming. It's impossible not to be sort of won over by him. I mean, a lot of people talk about how, he had all this charisma and everyone fell in love with him. And when David Williams says, of course, he was married 3 times, he had to give everyone a go. Watching the doc, you kind of think, well, you can sort of understand it. I think the interesting thesis at the centre of it is that he created Roger Moore as a character, and then that character then made James Bond like Roger Moore rather than the other way around. Because when you take over from Sean Connery, everyone is expecting you to do the Scottish accent when you say Bond, James Bond, and he's brilliantly self-deprecating, and everyone who speaks about him seems to really like him. And the reason Christopher Walken is there, Christopher Walken says at the beginning, I don't like doing documentaries, I don't like talking about people I know, but I'm going to do this because I just want to say what a nice guy he was. Anyway, it's really charming, loads of great archive footage, really sort of nice memories. And it made me warm all the more to Roger Moore because he is so self-deprecating about his own talents, and he, it achieved an awful lot. And as I said, although I think Daniel Craig was the best Bond, Roger Moore was my generation's Bond, and he did do a brilliant job of turning Bond into Roger Moore.
Where can we see that?
You can see it in cinemas now, and then it will be on television on whatever day that 25th is.
Yeah, okay.
Hey Simon, apparently we've got 20 seconds to tell people how fabulous NordVPN is.
Okay, 1, you get access to streaming services in other countries. 2, you save money on booking holidays as well as having premium cybersecurity on your devices, and all for the price of a coffee a month.
To get your exclusive NordVPN deal, go to nordvpn.com/kmtake for a huge discount on your NordVPN plan and a bonus gift.
It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the description below.